Hello and welcome back to our continuing adventures on the CyberDefenders platform. We are taking a look at a, well, now 2-year-old exercise from the HoneyNet project that's been given the name EscapeRoom. I also realize that effectively, if I want to avoid having to sit there and try to generate content for Christmas weekend, I probably should put something together. So I'm trying to get at least ahead. So I figured let's take a whack at this. So effectively we've got some log files and a PCAP file to work through to answer the 17 questions. So the scenario, you belong to a company specializing in hosting web applications through KVM-based Virtual Machines. Over the weekend, one VM went down, and the site administrators fear this might be the result of malicious activity. They extracted a few logs from the environment in hopes you might be able to determine what happened. This challenge is a combination of several entry to intermediate level tasks of increasing difficulty focusing on authentication, information hiding, and cryptography. Participants will benefit from entry-level knowledge in these fields, as well as knowledge of general Linux operations, kernel modules, a scripting language, reverse engineering. Not everything may be as it seems. Innocuous files may turn out to be malicious, so take precautions with dealing with any files from this challenge. Well, it's effectively log files and Wireshark, so I mean, unless we're going to pull something down inside a Wireshark, which, okay, we may have to, but so their whole thing is Wireshark Network Miner, Brib Security, UPX, which is a unpacking and packing, what do they call a system, I guess, and then IDA. And yes, I'm still heavily congested. So let's take a look at this stuff. So we start with question 1. What service did the attacker use to gain access to the system? What attack was used to gain access to the system? One word, apparently ending with the letter E. And what was the tool the attacker possibly used to perform this attack? Okay, well, let's start taking a look at everything. So, I have Wireshark. Ooh. All over the place, apparently. Give me one moment while I adjust the size. I did not really do much pre-gaming on this. Okay. So we'll transition this over. And immediately what strikes my eye is we're seeing SSH. So let's filter this down and just take a quick walk through this. So let's see, key exchange. It looks like we've got comms going from 10, 252, 174 to 188 to 23, 20, 23, 147. This seems to continue on through most of the communication channel. Or at least everything that's recorded. Ooh, and then we have just a section where it's just constantly from the .88 to the 147, just constantly spamming. Let's see, so we also have a PS log, a shadow log, and a sudoers log to play with. with. Let's see. Just see if anything here stands out. So we got root, Ubuntu, Gas, Gibson, C, George, Roger, Timothy, Pierce, Sterling, and Manager. It looks like, okay, so PS must have been the actual use of PSOX. So root, MySQL, daemon. Try to put together some. And we take a look at the sudoers file. Root all. The following people may be able to gain root. Privileges. %sign admin, guest, manager, seed, Roger Pierce. Wait, if there's a %admin, should that not mean that there should be a corresponding entry in the shadow.log? But there isn't. Yeah, I don't like that very much. Anyways, so we're not really getting much that talks about this, really. But yeah, that's a lot of SSH traffic. What I would really love to see would be something like, say, hey, yeah, that works perfectly fine. Or something to say, hey, that's successful, as opposed to just, yeah, there was SSH traffic. But the fact that there's just back and forth for keys, everything else like that, the exchange constantly from the same host. I mean, my first thought would be brute force. Because it's just constantly back and forth. And then at some particular point, what did you go to the... Just a lot. And then apparently they must have come to something. New keys, and then there's just client server, everything else like that. So I think it is gonna be SSH is, I mean, it's 3 characters, so okay. Okay, so that's exactly what it was. Brute force. Is this like what? Hydra is the first thing that pops into my head, but I thought that was to basically do like web requests, not SSH. Well, THC Hydra. Go Buster. Yeah, HTTP form get, HTTP get, form post, and the like. And of course, burp. Okay, so exactly though, how many characters do we have to work with? 5. That's more. That's more. That's more. That's more. And that's less. Oh, that is 5. That's less. That's more. 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 Okay. I mean, supposedly it's included in the list, so. Oh, again, it would be helpful if I could spell currently. Okay. Oh, how many failed attempts were there? Oh, goody. Let's see. Okay. "66 sessions." Is there anything in here that actually will tell me that, hey, it actually worked? Something I can pivot off of? That's all TCP. I'm just taking a look to see as to whether or not there's anything in here that would actually denote success or failure. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go through and count. Which obviously I prefer not to do myself, but I may not have much choice in the matter. Well, we can do a short burst, so let's do this. Let me bring up. So I could go through and I could sit there and try to count. Oh, wow. No, that's ginormous. I really threw off this aspect. Okay, so I'm looking at Network Miner. And we're looking at the two systems in question, the Linux server, one of them, the .88, and then we're looking at the .147. And what we've got is, so we have outgoing sessions 54 on the 147, and we have incoming sessions of 54. So I would assume one success, so that would make 53 unsuccessfuls. I mean, especially seeing as how it's back and forth owing to those two hosts by the looks of it. So we're making an assumption that saves me from having to go through and count, and it is double digits. So 53? No. Okay, so we know that they got in, so maybe there's two. There was two. Right. That's the one I'm not overly happy that effectively it's just kind of guesswork in order to pull that stuff through. Um, so let's try this. Let's get rid of the SSH aspect. Um, yeah, so it would probably be converse. Okay, so let's do this. All right. So we'll bring up Wireshark quick. And so it's statistics and then conversations. And we transition that one in. And so we're looking at a lot of this is the SSH. But if we go and sort by duration, so we'd be looking for longest. So we've got one for a value of a little over 12 and one for a little over a value of 3. And then it looks like everything else, at least 222, is below 3. I'm still not in love with that particular aspect. I mean, because my first impression would be 1, just because there's only one session that has the value of 12 plus. But, I mean, the answer confirms that it's at least 2 successful logins out of that 54, because the answer was 52 failed logins. And I mean, you've got one where it's like, okay, it's a lot more data, back and forth. And, I mean, really, the byte volume does not really seem to change. So we got the one here. Of course, then you have a small volume duration for 0.7, but that pulls 8K where everything else, what was probably the unsuccessful, was about 4.5 by the looks of it. So, yeah, that you could definitely say 1 with relative ease given the duration. 2's something of a stretch. I would probably want to see actual log evidence in regards to that. But, okay. And so then we move on to what credentials, username and password were used to gain access. Refer to shadow.log and sudoers.log. Oh. Which means we're going to have to take this is gonna be fun. But, oh well. Okay, so the way I figure this is gonna play out is I'm gonna have to take... Actually, no. We'll take the hashes and see something like crack station, if that works. Before we just kind of say, well, screw it. So obviously we are going to want to focus on these, let me bring this up. So this is the sudoers.log file that's now up here. And so we're targeting the %admin, guest manager, scene, Roger, and Pierce. And we're going to take a look at the shadow log file, which switches over to this. All right, let's puff these up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to come through when we're looking at them. So, okay. And then I'll just expand this out. Okay, so that's our sudoers. So we're going to basically just, we're grabbing basically information from here, and we'll see as to what I can do to try to reverse this. If Crack Station doesn't have it, then I will have to probably stand up John the Ripper to go through and try to actually harvest this stuff out, which could take a little bit of time, but I guess it's a good thing I have a gaming system. GPU acceleration for the win! Okay, so let me see about trying to get this stuff into Crack Station. So let me pause this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I took a look and did a character count. Apparently, since we're targeting all those that are in the sudoers list, manager is the only username that matches. So I still have it going, but I decided I would go through and try the RockU password list. And of course now I cannot find the window I am looking for. Ah, here we go. So, sat through and ran it, and basically was able to, just using RockU. So apparently the manager account has the password of forgot, and Sean has the password of Spectre. But given that manager is the only thing that fits in this particular aspect, that's just what I'm going to go through. I'm going to leave RockU running on the gaming system. Yep, okay. Oh, sorry. There. Manager forgot. So we know that they had the manager account popped. And I guess that kind of makes sense, because if we were to take a look at the shadow.log file, so it's not alphabetical, but it's in terms of how these things have been created. So the very last account that would have been created is going to be at the very bottom of that pile. And so, of course, what's the very last one on that pile? Manager. At least as I understand it. Okay, let's see. What other credential, username, password could have been used to gain access? Also has refer to shadow log and sudoers. So that one's going to be Sean and then Spectre. Now, mind you, that was sub 20 minutes on just the, like, the system I'm using to sit there and do this recording, not the gaming machine. I mean, for a full run through for RockU, I mean, the gaming machine's saying it's going to take like 17 hours to actually run through every possible portion there. So I may just let it go overnight and just poke at it tomorrow morning. But I mean, realistically, okay. I mean, we were able to sit there and get this done. So I mean, hey, good on it. Good on it. And then basically just his confirmation. There's Sean, Inspector. So 20 minutes in order to put that together. So then we're moving on to what is the tool used to download malicious files onto the system? And so now that gets more fun. Loads more fun. All the fun. It's a 4-word answer. Oh, I have an idea. The question is, for, okay, let me show my work. I don't know this for a fact, but so over to Network Miner, and I am underneath parameters for this particular PCAP. And so I'm running through and I'm taking a look at this. And so I'm seeing user agent, wget, 4 letters, and wget, and wget, which is usually really only used to pull stuff down. So I have a sneaky suspicion it might be wget. Maybe. Okay, then we're looking for single digits. How many files did the attacker download? Or did the attacker download to perform? Well, let's take a look. I mean, we've got a bunch of files here. Something tells me these BMPs are not BMPs. Not in the slightest. So there's 12 files. If we remove the 3 HTML files, that would make it what, 9? Using simple math. No. Well, darn. So what we're probably gonna have to do then well, maybe. Because if we go back and we take a look, so those might be further in. But if it's not 9 to account for these BMP files, which, okay, now that I'm taking a look at it. Uh, tabloid stuff. The Laughing Man, personal favorite. Hell. So those actually do come through as images, not saying that there couldn't be something else actually shoved in there. Then what we're looking at is the HTML files. Oh. And I just realized that opening that particular portion up does not allow you to see it. So I do apologize with that. So let's change that. So let me show you the so here's one.html. And I mean, it's been a while since I've done HTML, but I'm fairly certain it's supposed to start with brackets HTML, not .elf. Which, if memory serves me right, elf is like the equivalent of the exe for Windows, but obviously on Linux. And here's 2.html, again, that starts with .elf. Again, not seeing a whole lot of, brackets HTML in here anywhere. And of course, then the big thing is this looks like a shell script, since it starts with bin bash, or technically, I guess, technically a bash script. So if we just take a look and try to figure out exactly what this thing is doing. So I'm going to assume it's going to be the 3 HTML files then. Oh, crap. Oh, no, that did come through. Okay. I did remember to do the transition. Okay, so then if it's different, then I'm going to assume it's going to be the 3. Hooray! So we need to get MD5 sums for all this stuff. So the question is, let's just assume that they executed in order. So, I mean, that's the way they came down according to the frame number that this stuff was pulled down. So it was 1.html, 2.html, 3.html. So it kind of makes it a little bit nicer. So for one, we have okay, hang on, let me bring this back up. And we want one, and we transition, so there's the results for that. And it did generate. So we're just going to go do right click and copy. And according to this, it should start with 7, which it apparently does for this MD5. Nice. What file has the script modified so that the malware will start upon reboot? So that's probably our 3. So let's take a look. Where'd it go for me? There it is. So let's see, we're doing move 1 to var mail chmod plus x to make it executable. It's echoing it out to do end sleep. And then we're popping it out. So looking at this, it looks like it's /etc/rc local or rc.local. So let's see. That's what she looks like at least. So /etc/rc.local. Okay. And then where did, so that was what, var and then mail? And again, that was from reading number 3. So that's the MV for move 1 to var mail. Oh, we're making pretty good time on this sucker. Oh, still running. How long has it been going? It's about 20%. And technically run for 15 minutes on the gaming system. Wait, 20% done, but yet still reporting. Yeah, damn near 17. Oh, okay, yeah, I have no idea about that. That's weird. Anyways, so then the next aspect is, okay, apparently something's missing from PS log. Whatever could be missing from PS log? But I should probably show you what PS log is. Oh God, that's horrible. I'm referring to the preview here. All right, so there's PS log. Immediately after reboot. So PS aux. So wait, this moved 1 into, no, it moved, so 3.html, which was really the script, which then modified etc rc local, told it to sit there and move 1. But to move 1 as mail inside of the mail fold. So we should have mail then, right? So let's see, migration. Cron 18. Whoopsie. Yeah, it looks like that's what's missing. That move. So again, so move 1. To var mail mail. But so it should be starting up because they modified RC local. But there's no mail. Although my big thing is I want to know what the hell's up with that whoopsie. So technically the question, or the answer to said question should be /var/mail mallow. Yeah. What is the main file that was used? So let's just start with an S and end with a dot, 2 characters. We're going to go back to 3 because something tells me the answer's there. No hop, veil, marmart, devnull 2, move to 2 slash lib slash modules, uname r, sysmod.ko.depmod dash a echo 1.pid of mail to proc dmessage rm3 sysmod.ko. Okay, I was kind of taking just a weird guess at that, given that it was the midsection, but it's the only thing that kind of fits. What is the function that causes requests? Inside the main function? Oh, we're actually gonna have to unpack things now. But we're close. Okay, I may have to come back to that one. So is there anything else we can do that we want to? What are the IPs the malware connected? Contacted starts with 17. What is the full IP? Oh. Oh. So back to network miner. And so we're taking a look at the source, and look, that looks a lot like 17. It's pulling down these images, which, yes, it looks like it's the hell images. But that's all there is in between these sessions here is. Okay, so that looks like that's going to be our needful. Okay, so let's see as to whether or not if I'm barking up the wrong tree. So it should be, yeah, so what, 17 something, so which matches 4. 129, 57, and 253. Yes. How many files, assuming, did the malware request from external servers? Let's see, we have SSH to the 10.282. So they want to know how many from just that IP? Or is this, well, no, external servers. So there was a total of 12, and the first 3, the HTML files that weren't HTML files. So out of the 12 that's left, is this where our 9 comes in? Nice. What are the commands that the malware was receiving from attacker servers? Comma separated alphabetical. This is probably going to be the portion where we got to do the reverse engineering. Which, excuse me, is Remnox have UPX? I might just have to spin up Remnox. Try ID. Yes, it does. It has UPX because we haven't had to do anything yet with UPX. So I'm assuming that if we're going to go through and have to try to sit there and rip apart some of this stuff, we're gonna kind of need more. At least that's my general guess. Okay. Let me get this paused. Oh, we're already 46 minutes in. Yeah, let me pause this. Okay, so I'm trying to get Remnox stood up. Get everything transferred, get the defenses lowered long enough for me to be able to make transfers without stuff intercepting, but effectively just 10 days ago. So obviously, yeah, 1.html is detected for UPX inside of VirusTotal and has about half, 50% detection rate, give or take, well, a little bit more. 2.html is relocatable ELF, that's 18 out of 64 as of 8 days ago. 3.html, the script, 8 out of 59, but that's 4 months ago. And I was trying to go through and just try to upload the BMP files and just refresh the scans, but apparently those are coming back as just BMP files. So, yeah, that's nice. I think this has come up. Yes, it has. Okay. So make sure nothing else is screwing with the host. Let me get a file portion together. Realize this is not all that entertaining watching me as I sit there and move this stuff through, but I am just getting the files copied over onto the virtual machine itself and then getting the flash drive disconnected. Okay. And we'll just disconnect the flash drive. So about 50% with 33 minutes done with the RockU database still kicking around. All right. So I'm gonna have to share out. Oops. The Remnox window. Okay, so let's just take a quick refresher. We need to find out inside a main function what is the what's the function that causes request to servers, and then we're looking for the commands the malware was receiving from attacking server. And now we get to the section to which I am arguably the weakest at. Trying to go through and actually do reverse engineering on these particular aspects. So let's see, I need to bring the Rimnox window up, but just not terribly so. It'll cross over slightly. There's not really a good place to put it, so screw it. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3, and I'm assuming we're screwing around. So we need 2. Oh, little butt. We want to decompress. So we would do UPX D. Come here, little butt. Give. Go get it. Get the ducky. Okay, so that unpacked one file, but where? Come here. Give. Nope. Okay. We have all this. I think it changed. Let's see, I think it was. Oh, mouthy butt. Yeah, we're past the time I usually take her for a walk, but not feeling that well. Well, there is obviously a difference between the two files, so I'm assuming that it worked. So what do we have that we can... All right, let's fire out Ghidra. And then since we're done transferring stuff back and forth, we will turn back on the detections I turned off to affect the file transfer. I think we're done with that particular aspect too. Okay, let me get this paused until we start actually rolling through this. Okay, so got one into Ghidra, found the main function. I'm looking at this stuff, and Trust me when I tell you that this is not easy aspect for me, but it looks like it is referencing some address. I mean, I could be wrong, but there's a section there that basically just says ADDR plus Rex times 0x8. And I am probably butchering it, but this is not an area where I excel in the slightest. And I am okay with saying that because nobody's perfect, nobody knows everything. But I believe that then we go promptly down. It looks like it's doing request file with a capital F. And by taking a look at what's presented to us as the possible answer, it does start with an S, so, or with an R. Okay. And then we're looking for commands. It looks like N and R. N and R for returning something. N and R. So NOP. Move, copy, XOR. R is in the wrong spot. Jump. Call. Return. Yeah, I have no honest idea. All right, let me pause. I'm going to have to dig around a bit. Okay, in order to get this finished, I did have to sit there and ask for a little bit of assistance. So apparently some people used Red Air 2 to go through and do this, but a couple of people I talked to had used Ghidra. And their suggestion was, okay, you found main, good. Take a look at process message, or what was the other thing they'd said? Like decrypt message or something like that. And then effectively I'm looking for hex values, which, okay, I mean, simple enough. So, I mean, immediately off the bat, I see if something, else if something, and it runs through and does its thing. Interesting. We're looking for an N and an R. So here's no op, and here's run for the hex values, which coincidentally does match. So, and they're both 3, so op, run. I'm going to give it 5 stars, and I'm going to mark it as very difficult because of the fact that going through and actually crawling through the code like that with Ghidra or anything else like that just is not really my cup of tea, but because I should probably spend more time to devote in attempting to learn assembly or basically how to go through and do this stuff. I guess I had to take a look and see if there's any courses available for Ghidra. But there we go. That has been the knockout, drag out fight of the escape room by the Honey Nut Project, but hosted on CyberDefenders.org. So, with all that being said, and the fact that this is supposed to be released on the 24th, Merry Christmas to everyone, and if Christmas is not your speed, then happy holidays. Hopefully you get everything you want, and hopefully you're spending time, quality time with family, so on and so forth. So with all that being said, I will see everyone in the next video.